In this tutorial we are going to learn how to use the Select tool. The Select tool belongs to the toolbar called Principal. If you go to View Toolbars, you can turn on the Principal toolbar from the Toolbars dialog. Simply tick it and it will appear. So what we need is an object that we can select to test the different selection methods on. So first, select the rectangle tool, click on screen, drag it down to the bottom right hand corner, click again, then using the standard views above, click on ISO, then get the push pull tool, click on the surface and drag it upwards. We now have an object that we can use the select tool on. So to access the select tool, you could either click on it here, you could press S for select, or you could push the spacebar key. If I was to want to select this surface, I could do one click, which would select the top surface, or I could do two clicks, which would select the top surface and its edges, or if I triple clicked, it would select everything connected to the original surface that I clicked on, so this top surface. Let's say I had another object over here. I'm going to select it by triple clicking on it, click on the move tool, click to begin, then press Ctrl as I'm moving it, and then click to finish, and that's now made a copy. It's very important to go back to the select tool so you don't accidentally keep moving. So press spacebar or click on the select tool and it will cancel the move and put you back into a neutral tool, being the select tool. So I've got two objects now. If I then draw a line between the two and get the select tool and triple click on the first surface, you can see that that electricity is then gone from the top surface, picked up the edges, worked its way down along the line and picked up the other object. So everything initially connected to this has been selected. If I take away the connection, hit the X or press delete on my keyboard, it's now deleted it. It's now taken away that connection. So if I triple click, it no longer can select it. If, for example, I have the object selected and I want to deselect certain elements, I could hold Shift on my keyboard, and you see how I've got the little plus and minus appearing on my cursor. I could hold Shift and then I could subtract surfaces and edges by clicking on them. And if I click again on those same surfaces and edges, it then adds them. So it's a plus and minus, meaning you can add and subtract from the selection. If I hold Shift and Control, you'll see that I get a minus. So whatever I click on will minus no matter what. And if I keep going, I could deselect the whole thing. If I hold Control, it gives me just the plus. So I can then add only to the selection. So I'm picking up elements that I want to select, and I can just carry on adding. So why you might add and subtract selections is because you might think to yourself, I only want to delete this part of the model, leaving behind the rest of it. So I would select it and delete it. Otherwise you might select an object to copy it or move it. So I select this object here by triple clicking on it, then I can move that object, or I can copy it with the Control key and move. Okay, so there's other methods of selecting as well. So let's say I want to select the top surface over here, but I want to select all of the top surfaces in one go. I could change my view so I get it more horizontally. Then I can left click at the top left corner and drag it down and release, and that's now selected all of the top surfaces. And that's really handy because I might want to move just the top surfaces upwards or downwards. The only thing about selecting in this method is that you be careful that you don't accidentally select too big, because if you do, whatever's within that selection rectangle will select what's behind the other surfaces. So you want to make sure you only get the tops if that's what you're intending to select. Another selecting method is to drag the box from right to left this time. So let's say I drag the box from right to left and it selects whatever it crosses. So I could potentially just select just that corner, yet it picks up that surface, this surface, and that surface. Selection from right to left is particularly handy when you have a group. So let's say I triple click on this group here, sorry, this block here, right click on it, make it a group, and now it's just one element. So by putting it in a group, it's actually quicker to select it because it selects the group in one go. And if I was to drag a box from right to left, all I need to do is just clip it on the corner and I've got it. Then I can quickly go and move it. So you can see there that you can work quite quickly with SketchUp and groups. So I can, again, I could just quickly pick that up, get the move tool, and just move it into place. So just to recap, you can click on surfaces to select, you can double click to get surfaces and their edges, you can triple click to select whatever's connected to the initial surface, you can use the shift key to add a minus from the selection, you can use shift and control to minus only from the selection, and you can hold control to only add to the selection. And lastly, you can drag windows around objects that you wish to select, and you can select from right to left as well to select the things that you are crossing.